I look at when I am prepping a tackle box for saltwater fishing is how many Sabiki lines do I have. These things are money. The best way to catch a big game fish is with live bait. Preferably, it's kind of a match the hatch type of scenario. Something that game fish is feeding on and dialed in on. If you have a lure that can catch that bait, you also have a lure that can catch, anything feeding on that bait. So my go-to rig for putting bait in the boat and bigger fish in the boat is the Sabiki line. Got two types here, the Hayabusa and the Offshore Angler. Both of these I bought at Bass Pro Shop. One thing to keep an eye out when you're buying... Actually, first let's talk about how these work. Basically, you tie, it's a long line with several flies. Let's see if you can see that. Long line with several flies attached to bridge lines. This one, the Offshore Angler, has 6 flies, and the Hayabusa, this is a bigger rig, so heavier line, bigger flies, but it's only got 4 flies. So you attach one end, they come pre-rigged, and we've got our swivels here, our snap swivels, and basically you attach one end to your fishing line and the other end to a weight. Kind of like that right there. That way the snap swivel just snaps right on, to the weight. And they're easy to fish, you pull them right off of the cardboard, drop them in the water where you think there's bait, or better yet, when you see giant schools of bait running up and down the beach, you can drop it into that, cast it into that, and 9 times out of 10 you're going to pick up at least one bait. So the Offshore Angler Sabiki, these are great. These are kind of like the value line. You can pick these up for like $1.50, $1.40 at Bass Pro Shop. I usually take 4 or 5, actually more than that, 7 or 8 of these with me at all times. So I rarely leave the beach without having Sabikis on me. The Offshore Anglers will rust pretty quick, and it's kind of a one-time use, lure. Also, the teeth of bait fish and that sort of thing will fray up the line. I mean, they'll tear them up pretty good. I've used these to the point to where bait fish are ripping the flies off, and I've only got 1 or 2 flies left on the line, and they're still catching bait. So, way to go. These are, red hooks. Let's see if you can get a good look at that. Red hooks with a nice little white skirt on it. Yeah, they work well. So $1.50 for these. These are a couple bucks. The Hayabusa, they're a little bit better quality material. So they're using better line. They use the high carbon steel fishing hooks, so the hooks last a little bit longer. You can use these for several uses. So yeah, the Hayabusa is definitely the higher end of them. Now, if I'm looking for, small bonito or small cigar minnows or, menhaden or anything like that, I'm using a smaller Sabiki with 6 flies. The bigger ones, on a slow day, if I can't get a hold of mackerel or, whatever, and you just want to catch fish, you can usually hammer mackerel with these jacks. Anything in the ocean is going to hit a Sabiki line. So I like to keep one that's beefed up. One thing to pay attention to on this lure are the sizes, how many flies you get, also the sizes of the line, the branch line and the main line. This one has a 40-pound main test line and a 30-pound branch line. Oops, right there. 40-pound and 30-pound. Size 14 hooks. So, if you've never fished with these before, you definitely kind of want to scale the size of the Sabiki to the bait that you're going to catch. I'll generally have a lot of these on me at any given time, so I'll kind of do, some lighter Sabikis and some heavier Sabikis. That way, I can kind of dial in what they're hitting. Sometimes bait fish are finicky, and if the Sabiki's too big, they won't hit it, you know, or if it's too small, they won't hit it. So, you know, it's good to have a variety of these. You know, one of the best lures I have in my box. They're awesome. So this one is the cheaper one. It's more of a one-time use type of Sabiki, size 12. It has 13-pound main line and 7-pound branch line. So this is the type of Sabiki that's going to hammer your cigar minnows, or, you know, your small school of bonita on the beach in the Gulf. And, you know, they will rip the flies off eventually, but, you know, at the same time, you're going to be able to put a lot of fish in the boat with this, a lot of good bait fish in the boat. So first and foremost, guys, you're fishing in the Gulf or kayak fishing, that sort of thing, bait should be #1 priority, and Sabiki's is one of the best ways to get it outside of, you know, throwing a cast net. Sometimes the Sabiki's more productive.